I say
Top Billin. Oh, all my top Billin villains, you know this channel is for real football heads, right? Not bandwagon fans, fanboys, and all of the sort like that, right? It's for people who really love the nuances of the game and love to get it in detail and love to get it real. So with that being said, I don't want anyone to think that I'm coming down on our rookie Jihaad Campbell, right? Jihaad Campbell is my man. You know that I have mad love for anybody from the Delaware Valley like he is, right, as a South Jersey guy. And I think the world of him, he is going to be a star. But if I'm looking at this, right, and I'm delivering this information to you guys, Jihaad Campbell against the run definitely has some improving to do. Now, against the pass and all that, right, you can see the talent right there. He already, right, he looks damn good against the pass. That's what I said before. I thought that he had a very similar skill set to Zach Bond to where it looks repetitive, meaning in the future, it feels like he should be playing Zach Bond's spot. Not to say that I want Zach Bond to go anywhere. Zach Bond is the best player, one of the best players on the team, right? So, and linebacker is a spot that you can play for a minute as well. But with that being said, having him play next to Bond, you have to have a certain skill set. And I believe Nakobe Dean, the hall monitor, has the perfect skill set to complement someone like Zach Bond. Now, if you look at this right here, right, this is why I don't like blind stats. When people come to me with blind stats, I usually just ignore the shit, right? I might say some slick shit or something like that. Y'all know how I get down out here, right? I give you that real Philly experience. Right? You either love it or you hate it, but you're going to get it authentically. Jihaad Campbell here with 8 total tackles and 5 solo, right? You're going to have a lot of people that always rush to the channel, right? Oh, you got to do something on Jihaad Campbell. You got to do something on Jihaad Campbell. And I'm like, just wait, right? Let young boy prove itself. Right? I mean, we have a high example that was set in that position by Nakobe Dean, and I've seen some things, right? Matter of fact, let's check this out right here. Not all tackles are created equally. Jihaad Campbell, in this particular game here, I think out of those 8 tackles, the best or closest to the line of scrimmage that he had was like 6 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, meaning he's making tackles further down the field. Now, he's a short tackler, so at the very basis, that's what you want to have. And he's a freak athlete, so at the very basis, that's what you want to have. But there's a certain play style that he's playing with at this particular position. I'll just break it down for you right here, right? We're going to do all gaps covered. That's what makes the Philadelphia Eagles the Philadelphia Eagles. We first stop the run, and then we run the ball. We have not done either that well. So check this out right here. Watch Jihaad Campbell here. Look at this, right? On the surface, people are going to say, oh, that's a good tackle, right? We'll go back again on this right here. Kind of similar plays too, right? But I want you to look at this. If we're talking about all gaps covered, right? Gapstinence. Not being in another man's gap and not allowing penetration, right? Gapstinence, right? That's a top billing exclusive right there. If you see it right here, all gaps covered, right? So if you're talking about gaps, right, they're coming out in 12 personnel. They're creating extra gaps. You can see it, right? It's a line. The plays are there to be made. So if you're Jihaad Campbell, you want to kind of slow play this, but you want to get downhill. So if you see him here, the play is there to be made. Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis are both taking up double teams, right? Now you see right here they're going to release and then get to Zach Bond here on this combination block. However, right here, this was this man's gap. Shoot that bad boy. Be aggressive so you can meet him at or even behind the line of scrimmage, right? Get yourself a stuff or get yourself at the very least 1 or 2 yard gain, and you keep your team in front of the chains there. But he slow plays it, right? Almost like he wants to go into the gap where Cooper DeJean is coming and Reed Blankenship. Too many men in the same gap here. Nobody right here. Jordan Davis right here taking an aggressive approach as far as having his foot in the gap, showing presence there, but sometimes that's not enough if you can't disengage. So he doesn't disengage right here, at least in a timely manner, and that leaves Jihaad Campbell on the catch tackle, meaning he's 5-6 yards down the line of scrimmage or past the line of scrimmage. 11 personnel, this is just inside zone with Matthew Stafford being under center here. Now, I want you to watch Jihaad here. Right, he's reading. It's like he doesn't want to make a mistake. Yeah, he gets the tackle right to the lay fan. They'll be like, okay, that's a tackle, right? Damn, did you get the tackle and a fumble? Bang. Fertilize him, and now he didn't get a fumble. Look, So what you would want to have here is a more aggressive approach, right? So he doesn't want to make a mistake here. So he allows for the combination block to happen. So he's not working that well with traffic on him, right? So he doesn't seem like he would be the take-on guy like you would think with somebody with line of scrimmage experience here. But he takes the block, right? You know, you want to wall and discard, right? Plug and shrug. And he does neither of that really. And he allows for Kyron Williams here to get to the second level, right? Now, this is everybody here, right? If you see Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, they're doing their job, right? They take up the 2 blocks here. This is just 11 personnel, so the gaps are going to be, of course, you can see right here. Maybe if he's very aggressive in his approach, he shoots it downhill, and he can probably blow this up extremely early. But he wants to wait because he's concerned about what's going on over here. But you have Cooper DeJean who could come and shoot this, and you have Reed Blankenship who's on chief support. So you want to be a little bit more aggressive in your approach because you're going to end up making a mistake anyway, and you don't want to make a mistake not being aggressive. I'd rather have somebody be overly aggressive than to be a little bit more timid and still make the same mistake. All right, going against the same team, let's contrast that with Nakobe Dean here. You can see the difference in approach. Hall monitor Nakobe Dean is all team early. Bang! Look at that. And then no thank you. No running in the halls on the hall monitor, right? This man's treating the gaps like they're hallways, and he don't want you running in this shit, right? Instead of meeting, right, or letting the block develop to where it gets out on him and then he has the catch block, he meets it. Bang! Plugs, shrugs, and then he's in on it. Nakobe Dean, the hall monitor. Watch the hall monitor on this stretch play. He immediately gets downhill, right? They're trying to stretch this out, bang a bounce theory. Obviously, if they're pinned down, they're going to continue to keep that outside, right? If they're able to wash them down, then he would bang and cut that crease, right? That organic cutback crease. Nakobe Dean's prepared for both. Look at him. Running them down. No running. No running. We had an aggressive hall monitor like that once. Boy was on the track team, I think. Right? He was doing too much, right? He was running people down and be like, hey! I'm like, damn, Bull drawn. Doing too much. The Kobe D's doing too much, right? Don't run in the halls. I told you before. Look at him cut that angle, run it flat down the line of scrimmage, being aggressive. He's the definition of flying around on the field. When people say, oh, shit, he's flying around, that's what it looks like. Yo, I don't know about you, but I always respected trendsetters, and I believe Prophet X is that. Prophet X is a peer-to-peer sports exchange coming at you from right here in the good old US of A. Going on the days where they place severe limitations on what you could accomplish, being able to go directly peer-to-peer opens up everything. Set your own odds and welcome all challenges. And to me, that was the essence of sports predictions. You and your buddy talking that trash to each other, putting your money where your mouth is. Whether it's prop bets, money lines, player props, Prophet X has you covered because you'll be going against other users and not against sports books battling the house. Use promo code TOPBILLIN and claim up to $200 in profit cash on all plays for the first 30 days playing on the site. Terms and conditions apply. Now, this is a bad drawing right here. I want you to watch his footwork. He looks confused, right? They sent him out, gapped him, and then he tried to cut it back, and then look what happens. Yeah, very bad drawing right there. I want you to check this out. What I'm talking about with gaps, and it's not being in another man's gap, right? Once he reduces back down, he could have been probably more aggressive. You see this right there. They're not working with the combination very well. Jordan Davis did a good job of slipping that. He's getting upfield. You come right behind him, right pause, and make sure that you meet your gap here. You would trust that Nolan Smith, who's containing right here, has his foot on the outside, would then force, right, will be the force defender here. You need to be working more towards this direction, especially if we can see right now, right, this is a split zone with kind of a influence block in the middle, right, kind of like a mid-influence block. So, of course, you get that, and they're going to find that organic cutback crease. You want to pretty much run it just like they run it. You see Nakobe Dean doing that a lot. He'll mirror exactly what the running back is doing and then kind of meet it head on there. But he looks a little bit more schizophrenic here. Zach Bond couldn't make the tackle. Reed Blankenship couldn't make the tackle. And then you get another 10, 11-yard game. All right, you can see the Rams playing. You have 12 personnel with a reduction in split by Puka Nacua. They're creating a lot of gaps. When you create a lot of gaps, to me as a defender, especially on the second level, you're creating more opportunities for me to make a play. All right. So if we see here, all right. You pick one and you get aggressive with it. What he's doing right here is he's not meeting the contact here. Look at that. Havenstein get off on him, and then he's just riding it, right? No shrug after your plug. Right? So you write that there and then string it along. Like, bang, go in and meet that inertia right there, get rid of him, and then explode off to the edge right here. And you get Cooper DeJean right here, unable to make contain. Nolan Smith unable to corral him as well. And then you see the results. Now, Campbell does get a tackle, but like I said, all the tackles aren't created equally. My ultimate dream would be for Nakobe Dean, as of right now, just because of where he is in his career, to play the first couple of downs, and for then Jihaad Campbell to come in during obvious passing situations. I love Jihaad Campbell in coverage, and I love Jihaad Campbell blitzing. I love Nakobe Dean blitzing as well. He's always excelled with that. I believe he led the University of Georgia in sacks before. And that's what they had Azeez Ojulari and Nolan Smith and these guys that were playing there, right? And you can see right here, he's extremely aggressive. Look at this. Bang! Splatter whacked the shit out of Kyron Williams. Turned that man into a cadaver, right? Another cadaver we spotted right here. Take a step over the shit we left over. Like my boy Neef Bucky Rogers once said, gonna. Like a wife into a husband's arms right there, right? Fertilizing that man. That would be the ultimate goal for those guys to be able to complement each other right there and have a full gamut of just elite, talented players at the second level with Bond, Dean, and Campbell all playing together. All right, a little bonus action here. Sometimes the front seven can't get it, and you need your cornerback to be the chief support as far as contain. Look at the Dory Jackson right here. Look at this. This is just piss poor. He didn't want no parts of this, right? Your man is just, oh, man. I said it before. I would rather have Keely Ringo out there than a Dory Jackson. And y'all know I'm not a Keely Ringo fan like that. But Dory Jackson's not physical enough. At least Keely Ringo, while he may not be that good in coverage, at least as of yet in his career, he is more physical than Adoree Jackson, and he can definitely help with this, right? But you're getting blocked up the fuck up out of there. Ran to the concession stand. He concession stand this man, right? Jordan Whittington did, and he's not even getting in on the play, right? First down. It's some bullshit, man. You got to get Adoree Jackson up off this team. Let me reiterate. I can't wait for the further development of Jihaad Campbell. He's going to be a star. I can't wait for Nakobe Dean to return to the lineup so those guys can complement each other, hopefully. So we'll see how that shakes out. All in all, though, I expect the run defense to level up as it is. So we shall see what that is. I know Fangio can't be happy about how the run defense is going. And I didn't hear any of you casual fans out there talking about how bad the defense was in the first half against the Los Angeles Rams. Everybody wanted to talk about the offensive play calling. That's all what casual fans only want to talk about, right? Let's talk about line of scrimmage play. Couldn't run the ball, couldn't stop the run. That's the shit that I want to hear from people who was up on top billing. All my real villains. So shout out to all my real villains all around the Delaware Valley. Shout out to everybody out Elton, Maryland. Shout out to everybody out Wilmington. Shout out to everybody out Newcastle, Delaware. Christiana, Newark, and all that. Of course, South Jersey in the building as always, and my beloved city of Philadelphia, North Philly in the building. Shouts to the entire Philadelphia. All right, Kensington, let's get it.
What more can I say?
Top billing.